Happy Earth Day, Miami Talks. Today we're at Berries in the Grove in beautiful Coconut Grove, Miami, Florida, at the campaign kickoff event for Javier Gonzales' run as Commissioner of District 2. Today we'll be asking everyday Miamians how they feel about climate change and also how they feel about President Obama's prior visit today to the Everglades National Park.
I'm very proud of this community, and I think it's time that I would get back to it.
And now we're here with the man of the hour, Javier Gonzales. He is running for Commissioner of District 2, which is which area?
District 2 involves the Coconut Grove area, Brickell. It also has Wynwood, and you also do the Edgewater area and also Morningside.
So Wynwood, that's very interesting. A huge art culture springing up in Wynwood. A lot of artists that I know, for example, are worried that there's no housing for them. They're being pushed out. So basically what's best about Wynwood is actually being pushed out of Wynwood. And how would you address that if you were commissioner?
That's a tough question. Affordable housing is very difficult, or workforce housing. It's land costs in our district is one of the most costly land in the district. I think the opportunities are there. It just has to be smart development. I think you also have to have government involvement. What happens with the District 2 land is that it's just too expensive. So we're working on something in the Grand Avenue area, and the folks that are sellers want $30 million for 6 acres. When you do the math, the only thing you can build is big money. So you can't make something that the average young artist or the average young adult can afford. We are an investment-driven area. We've always have been. We're not a New York market. We're a market that caters to South America, and most of the developers don't think with the concepts that you're thinking. They're thinking about quick kills, and they're thinking about investment money coming from all over the world. And one of the things we're talking about is climate change. It's an obvious component that we're dealing with. If you've never been here through a hurricane, you've got to be prepared for these things.
Right.
You think about a hurricane coming through Brickell, how much of a devastation can happen? We had Wilma come through. So that's one of the topics that I think we need to address, not only as commissioner, but as mayor, as county, as state, because it could be a very, very big concern. So again, when we go back to controlled development or development that's smart development, we need to prepare for that.
President Obama was here earlier today,
absolutely.
and he was at the Everglades National Park. How do you feel about his visit?
The visit, I think, is very important, because if you look at how the Everglades, I'll tell you, your readers, or your listeners, or to your viewer public, sorry.
My fan club.
Your fan club, sorry about that. If you want to understand, and this is a deep, dark secret, and you can't tell this to anybody. Don't tell it to me. Okay, so if you want to tell us, read a book called The Swamp. If you read a book of The Swamp, it is going to tell you everything about real estate in South Florida. If you look at what President Obama just said today, it tailors into what is going on with FPNL's project about the fact that we're taking away water from Everglades restoration to support nuclear reactors, not new ones. We're talking about the current ones that are there. We're not even talking about the 2 new ones that they're talking about. We can't even keep those cool without taking water, not only from Everglades restoration project, which, by the way, won statewide support by 70%. So this is something that the people care about. And now what we're looking at is a conglomerate coming in, and not that I have anything about cheap power, but if you can't build it there, don't build it there. There's other places where you can build this, and I think FPNL tends to be a little bit of tone deaf as to what they're doing. So if we don't fight it at District 2 level, then it could go through. So it's important. Just what happens in District 2, it's like Vegas. What happens in District 2 is important to you.
What happens in District 2 never happens.
No, it never happens.
Javi, thank you so much
You're
for your
very
time.
welcome.
Best of luck
All
to
right,
you.
thank you.
And here we are with
Lourdes Diaz.
Lourdes. What do you do?
Well, I do a lot of political campaigns and a lot of strategic consulting and advertising.
How do you think South Florida is affected by climate change directly, because we are so close to the water table?
Well, you just said it. I mean, we're going to be flooded. And, you know, I look at the beautiful mansions, and I'm glad that I'm in Pembroke Pines. I'm not near the water. But it's very sad that what is now beautiful prime property with mansions that are $30 million one day might be underwater.
How do you feel about Obama's visit, and also the fact that Governor Scott was not there?
Well, Barack Obama is not a scientist. However, he recognizes that the majority, I would say 99% of the scientists, agree that we have to do something about climate change. And the fact that the governor was not there is for political reasons.
You believe that?
Yes, totally. Because, you know, you have a certain kind of mantra that you have to follow as a Republican, and if you don't, you make a lot of enemies, and that's what I'm seeing I'm very, I've changed a lot in my views. When people say, are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? What I answer is, I'm an American. And I don't think that we should use parties to divide people. In Spanish, I go, los partidos están partidos. And that's what I try to, communicate to the people that I work with.
And we're here with
Karen Agazzi.
Karen. What do you do?
I'm the CEO of the Epilepsy Foundation of Florida.
That's very impressive. Thank you so much for your service.
Well, I am a native Miamian. I've been here all my life. I grew up, spent all my youth in the Grove, and I really believe in the genuine candidate, the one that's really coming from the heart, the one who believes in the people, the honesty, the integrity, and I just would love to see more of those type of people in office.
And Javier is one of those people?
Absolutely. Javier is one of those people. You heard him speak tonight. He speaks from the heart. He's real people. And that's what I want to see happen to my community.
And here we are with
Elias Igozi.
Elias. What do you do?
I'm a campaign consultant.
Okay, wonderful. So you work for Javi.
I do now, yep.
What issue specifically is he talking about that inspired you to work for him?
That's a really good question because I don't normally get involved in local political races, but I met him on a personal level. I think he's a great guy, and he's standing up for the things that I believe in as a millennial, like climate change, like doing something about sea level rise, trying to fix our transportation issues through ride-sharing programs like Uber and Lyft and things like that. I mean, look, you have a governor who's literally banned the term from his employees to use, and I think it's a great thing that our president came and...
Wait, what? He banned what term? Climate change?
Yes, as far as I know, yeah. And he's an elected official, and a lot of people listen to elected officials. So I think I'm really proud that our president was able to come down and advocate for such an important cause.
Well, you heard it here first. Climate change is definitely an issue that's important to South Floridians. Thank you so much for joining us today on Miami Talks. I'm your host, Nadia Asencio, and we are the voice of Miami.